Hello everyone, my name is Dale Danker. I'm the president of the TWU Local 514 here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I wanted to make a quick update video about the Tulsa May rebid. As you all know, the current rebid that was out and posted in a lot of areas was going to disrupt probably over 1,000 people's lives when it was all said and done, with your swap partners that you have and your days off. And I got a little bit of news here. I think it's probably already all the way around the base, but I wanted to make a video and kind of summarize it for everyone. The bid that was out was going to move everybody to some Tuesday, Wednesdays off, take a lot of people off Saturday, Sunday, take a lot of piece of the weekends away. Everybody that had Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, Monday off, it was going to disrupt all of AO. CRO had quite a few changes. Some of the other groups had no changes, so I wanted to talk about that a little bit. So I have been preparing with the board for, I don't know, since we first found out when the people were coming back from the last furlough. They were going to put people on a Tuesday, Wednesday off, so we started in gathering information, having meetings with the company. This stack of documents right here is my preparation work for 833 33B presidential grievances that I'm working on your behalf. Some things have happened between working on these grievances and today. So what has happened? About around March 31st, I took a trip down to Dallas and visited with David Seymour. I did let him know that I thought the plan that they were putting in place here in Tulsa was too heavy-handed, too disruptive. I thought there was some better solutions, that if they would include the people on the floor, the union people on the floor, to work with the management team on the floor, that everybody together is smarter than one person individually, and that if we'd been given enough time, that maybe we could listen to what the company sees to be an issue for producing airplanes, and if they would allow our people on the floor to work, allow you on the floor to work together with them, that maybe we could come up with a better solution than just impacting everybody's lives by taking Saturday and Sunday and Friday, Saturday and Sunday, Monday away from people and moving them to a Tuesday, Wednesday day off pattern. So had that conversation with Mr. Seymour. Not a lot of conversation with Mr. Sangrico after that. Worked on preparing the 33Bs. I've got notes down here, talking points. But in between my conversation with Mr. Seymour and conversation with Ed that I had Tuesday, I had continued to ask y'all to visit with your local teams, local management teams, and tell them what you did or didn't like about what was coming. And Mr. Sangrico did take it upon himself to get out on the floor and have conversations with people, have meetings with people to discuss the necessary changes, what he thought was the necessary changes. And Tuesday, Ed sent me a text message and said, "Dale, can you call me when you get a chance?" So Tuesday evening, we had a conversation, and we talked about freezing the May bid for a period of time to allow the union leadership and guys and gals on the floor to visit with his teams on the floor and to discuss possible solutions to what the company is seeing as the areas where they need to make adjustments to. And I'm always like, my thoughts are always, you can't just simply move head count off of Saturday, Sunday to Tuesday to an off day of Tuesday, Wednesday, meaning putting more head count back on Saturday, Sunday, and just fix the problems. There's flow problems, there's planning problems, there's parts problems, there's people and the efficiency problem. I mean, I honestly think that you ought to go back to systems and structures. I was a structure guy. You wouldn't want me to go trim the engine because I hadn't done it, and therefore I wasn't trained and wasn't efficient on it. Doesn't mean that I can't do it. But in a base where you take airplanes all the way down to do heavy maintenance, you take an engine all the way apart. it's prudent to have people that have that skill specific job to get that module or that airplane structured job accomplished in a timely manner, or get an engine trimmed, get a flaps and ailerons rigged, get the avionics pieces of it lined out. So I have lots of ideas, but I honestly, after talking with Ed, we come up with an agreed upon letter that he wrote. I believe he's putting that communication out today. I don't know where it's going to hit. Don't know if it's going to be on JetNet, or don't know where the communication is going to go out to you guys on the floor. But it simply says that he has spent some time on the floor, and he is realizing that changing the May bid days off pattern on such a short notice without providing a realistic opportunity for both members of the union and management to engage in sincere and ongoing dialogue aimed at finding a solution that works for everyone was causing unnecessary angst. And hopefully you'll be able to find this and give it a read yourself, but it goes on to say that he has asked me to consider temporarily pausing the May bid for Aero, AO, and CRO. And he's asked his directors to facilitate meetings comprised of select employees from both sides to participate in formulating a proposed solution to our May bid. Once a particular group feels they have developed a mutual beneficial plan, he'd like to set up a meeting with myself, with Ed and I, to be briefed, to ask questions, suggest tweaks, and then post that bid. He goes on to say he doesn't expect much of a pause for Aero because they did not plan any change. The reason for them pausing is to simply ensure that their bid is in fact optimized. CRO had proposed minimal changes aimed at specifically reducing bottlenecks associated with our need to improve landing gear and turn times. Now I still recognize in the bid that they posted, the one that currently was posted, I recognize what I think is some contractual issues there, and I have 33 Bs to speak to that. So those, we will have that conversation still through the GRB process that's in the contract book. But I want to say that I do appreciate Ed listening to everyone on the floor, those that spoke up and had an opinion. Thank you. We together, we need to have one voice. There's unfortunately always this little crib note right here is to remind me to talk about rumors and politics. Hate rumors, hate the politics. There's conversation floating around, and I'm getting phone calls all the way from local 567. They had an e-board meeting yesterday, and saying that someone is going around making political points to say that they got the May bid postponed all the way to September. That's not the truth. That's not the facts. So the facts are, all of you on the floor that shared your opinions, the board members that continue to share their opinions, the efforts that I have been involved with on your behalf as your presidents, all of us together have had one voice to say that we want to come to work, we want to do a good job, we want to be efficient, we want to be an asset for the company, but this plan that was presented to us in the May rebid, we all collectively felt like it was going to fail because there was not enough effort put into and dialogue put into trying to find out what the sticking points were and what we needed to improve upon. You can't just move head count and go up there, I fixed the problem. So for all of us together, at least Mr. Sangrico has listened, and I hope that he is sincere in his dialogue, that we want to have the experts on the floor sit down with their team and come up with solutions. But I don't anticipate the bid. This is the other crib note that I have. There's rumors out there that says this is going to get postponed all the way to September. That's not the truth either. So I'm going to pause momentarily. We're going to try to let the people that this is affecting come up with some solutions. Hopefully some of those will have the answers in them, and then we'll move forward with the May rebid. I don't suspect it's going to be months. I suspect hopefully they'll get some dialogue going very quickly, and 2 or 3 weeks we'll have something that we can sit down and discuss. And I predict in Arrow that they'll probably just go on and go forward with their bid. CRO, just like Ed's letter states, that they have some issues. I have some issues with what they were going to do, and I'll address those. But it's AO that I think will probably take the longest. But I don't anticipate it being all the way to September. I don't think the company is anticipating that as well. There's some ideas floating around out there that are not contractual. As your president, I'm not going to agree to something that's outside the bounds of the contract. I think the contract language that's in there gives plenty of latitude to come up with solutions with manpower and things that won't violate your shift swaps, and how you're going to move your vacations and all that. How you get your overtime and all that. I'm not interested in violating a contract that was passed by an overwhelming majority of folks. So got any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out to myself or one of the officers. And hear any nasty rumors and political rumors, we can put them to bed fairly quick as well. Thank you for your time.